This is Arielle, and I'm here with Nancy Tierney, the delightful Nancy Tierney. Nancy is the head of sales here at Cyber PR, and she also runs her own company called Firecracker Communications.
Yes, ma'am.
And she's an expert copywriter and very knowledgeable about internet marketing, which is why I've got her sitting right here. And we're going to talk right now about building your mailing list.
Great.
Which is week 7.
All right.
So, Nancy.
Building your mailing list, specifically your email list.
Yep.
There's a lot of good ways to do it, and one of the things just has to do with your website. You know, I've talked about that. It's like to have your opt-in, basically where people sign up. Mm-hmm. That's called an opt-in box, where people actually put in their name and their email address so you can capture it, preferably because you've bribed them with something like a free download or something juicy that they just have to have. And to really have that option of signing up for your newsletter on every single page of your website. Because I think a lot of people put it on their home page and they forget the other pages, but the problem is people don't often find you from your home page. If they're doing a search, they could land on your bio page or they could land on your music page. So make sure, I mean, it could be in one of the columns, but make sure that it is on every page, so you, no matter where they land, they have that option of putting in their name and their email address and getting your download. The other thing that I think people forget about, and it's sometimes hard for people to do, is like when you do send something out like your newsletter that we talked about in week 6, to actually ask people sometimes if they want to forward your newsletter to someone who actually might be sincerely interested in your kind of music, what you're doing, or what that newsletter's about. Mm-hmm. Because then it gives, if they forward it, it gives that person a chance to go, oh cool, I'm going to go back to this person's site. I really want to get this newsletter. I really want to keep up to date. And at the least, it introduces you to a whole new fan that you might not have. The other thing is to really know your audience, to know who your audience is. And so I think it's to really start thinking about, who are your fans? It's like, are they mostly female? Are they mostly male? What age group are they in? Mm-hmm. Are they high income, low income? What kind of work do they do? And start really thinking about that. In fact, there was this one exercise I got as a copywriter in copywriting school, which was to create a profile of kind of like your ideal fan, or a fan that both best represented your entire fan base, mm-hmm. or your preferred fan base. So it's like, create a character, her name is Margaret, she's 34 and she works at IBM, or whatever it is, and you create a real person. It's fictitious, but it really has all the elements of who your ideal fan is.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, so what does she do on her time, with her time off? Where does she hang out? Right. Does she have a lot of friends? And really start thinking about them as a real person. They kind of this one person represents your whole fan base, because then you get a better idea of, well, where does she hang out? Uh-huh. And where does she buy things? And where does she buy her music? And where is she online? Uh-huh. Or he, whatever it is. Right. Where does she hang out online? Is she like on a single mom website, or is she on Facebook? So it really kind of gives you an idea of where you might be able to show up and actually collect, it's a kind of a weird term, collect, but meet these people that are your potential fans. Mm-hmm. And get them to sign up.
Mm-hmm. And then when you're going to do your copywriting, obviously you write to Margaret.
Yeah, it's so great, because then you just have that person. It's like when you do your newsletter, any kind of promotional writing at all. Mm-hmm. It's like you're writing to Margaret, you know what she's about, you know what she needs, you know what she wants, and you know what she's interested in.
Which will lead you to know what kind of bride to give away.
There you go.
So if you know that Margaret is maybe a little older, maybe she goes to yoga, maybe like a slower song is the right bride to give away.
Right.
And here's a little bribe tip. Our favorite bribe deliverers, is that even a word?
It is now.
Is a widget on Reverb Nation. So if you go to reverbnation.com, there's the fan collector widget, and then there's also a widget that will instantly deliver music, and Reverb Nation will collect all your names for free. This is Arielle, this is Nancy, and this has been Sound Advice Week 7, how to get them on your list.